You know, Timmy's a kid who has his own fairly odd parents, or one could say fairy godparents. I mean, they're very godly. Oh man, let's get into it. I mean, when you think of magic, you already kind of think of reality warping, but just like a lot of other cartoons, a big part of their lore is this thing known as Toon Force, kind of like cartoon physics. It's like when the writers don't really take a show seriously, the characters can do anything according to the gag of the episode or series or whatever. That's kind of the deal with Cosmo and Wanda, except for the fact they're a gag and they have literal magic and reality warping. So of course they can do pretty much anything they want.
This is a math problem, but in a world where magic and fairies exist, math means nothing. A fairy can make 2 + 2 equal fish.
In a world where Crocker controls magic, truth means nothing.
Like, due to their nature, there's plenty of times where you see Cosmo and Wanda shapeshift to blend into the environment, turn to different creatures, camouflage themselves, change colors, become inanimate objects. There's a million occasions of moments and examples like this. To the point, there's no point in showing every single occasion like this. Can make beings or make themselves microscopic in size. We've seen them have literal muscle forms. Don't these two remind you of Silver Surfer and he reminds you of Galactus? From Marvel Comics, you see what they did there? Shapeshifting. They can survive in space. Part of this is probably because of the gag. Nobody wants to actually kill main characters in cartoons. So even when they're drained, looking shriveled up and old, turning into dust, they was able to easily recover.
I'm a tasty nacho with 3rd-degree burns!
Yep, they're fast healers. Even if your eye gets poked, yep, instantly heals. Has their own version of spider sense when Timmy's in trouble because that's the person they're always supposed to look out for. There's too many occasions of them just popping up out of the blue, teleportation. Yes, they can grant the wishes for Timmy to go back in time, and they can just pop up in the time stream with them. They can just wish you back in time. They can just give you a time travel device to where you can just travel like that. Being depowered, their bodies just actively absorb magical blasts like literal sponges, so it doesn't really affect them in a bad way. It was because every fairy in Fairy World on Christmas Eve, they transferred their energy or magic to the one being that needs it, apparently, which is Santa Claus. Power him up even more. Can literally go through stuff intangibility style, pretty much make their own TV show with them being the main characters. It was so bad, they're used to going intangible that when they didn't have the intangibility, they ran in the walls. Their bodies are resistant to other magical attacks. That's why you can use them as a magical shield. Can make people of different ages, make beings into a baby, can make duplicates of themselves. Even when beings get murdered, Cosmo and Wanda can just bring beings back to life better than ever. Telekinesis, heat vision, every element in existence Cosmo and Wanda can use. But how strong are they? This is probably because of magic. Cosmo, even when small form, can lift an atomic bomb, which probably weighs several tons. And since they're godly beings, they're fairy beings, humans in this universe can do ridiculously crazy things. Even Timmy himself and his base self, whatever he can do, we can assume Cosmo and Wanda can do better because they're godly fairy beings. If humans can do this kind of stuff. I mean, they're the one that's literally made Timmy into Galactus. And look what Timmy can lift. Like, what? A piano? And he did it again with his friend standing on the piano. So you know Cosmo and Wanda can do this too with their muscle. I look at it like this. Cosmo and Wanda is the ones that's amping up Timmy, so they can definitely do this, especially with fairy magic, kick the ball around the world. We've literally seen Cosmo and Wanda make city-sized trampolines. This right here proves with enough raw energy, fairies can produce more than nuclear bomb levels of power, because there's just like these anti-fairies, whatever they can do, the normal fairies Cosmo and Wanda should be able to do too. Same concept. This is probably fairy magic amping themselves up, or just them powering themselves up with some type of energy or whatever. They literally ran, working together, of course, and stopped the Earth's rotation. This pretty much proves Cosmo and Wanda could shake the entirety of the United States. If we assume Cosmo and them, if they wanted to be evil, they can stop the Earth's rotation with their raw energy, with their blast or whatever, punches, blah, blah, blah. Just to give you a visual perspective of the gaggy nature of this show, even normal humans, all of the humans' population was here, and they all survived crashing into the Earth, like multi-continental type stuff. Yeah, Cosmo and Wanda can obviously survive this kind of stuff if humans can. How durable do you think they are if humans can? You see what I mean? They can survive continental destruction type stuff, or multiple. Not to mention with their fairy magic, they can literally just create their own continent. They literally squeezed it in between South America and North America. Obviously, they're not evil, but technically, if you can create this much mass, I'm pretty sure they could wish it away if they wanted to. You know, vice versa, destructive power if they just wanted to. I don't think the rules will allow them to do that, though.
My magic can't be used to destroy people because it is against the rules.
It was this episode where the Earth was divided. One side of the Earth was men, one side of the Earth was women. Like, there was this gigantic wall that can quite literally be seen from space. Like, this is bigger than any continent. Like, you can see the split. And if you think about it, if fairy magic can put a gigantic wall all the way around the whole planet, what do you think they could do to like a smaller planetoid like the moon? They could probably make something bigger than the moon-sized constructs if they really had to. Cosmo and Wanda have cheat code ways into making themselves stronger. You know, when they was training with the strongest fairy in the world, they literally had to do millions of push-ups.
18 million! Now!
1, 2, 3, 10 million, 1, 10 million, 2.
Like Cosmo, for example, is able to get stronger because of this massive pecs in 5 seconds thing. Yeah, gaggy. Let's be honest, fairy magic has enough raw power to destroy planets, but they just can't go around murdering people because of the rules, but they have the raw power to do so if needed. Like, there's like these beings going around blasting planets apart and such. I'm pretty sure they could do this too. I mean, we even seen Cosmo turn into his own version of Godzilla that can give himself any power he wants and give himself a whole bunch of wands. They have the raw energy to blow up the earth. It's not like they're going to break down the power levels individually, but a lot of the stuff that other fairies can do, Cosmo and Wanda should be able to do too. Maybe with the exception of this guy because he's one of the higher end ones, but even then, they're still not too far away from his power. There was this time this guy that used to be a genie was a fairy for a little bit. I don't see why Cosmo and Wanda couldn't do this, moving the earth and the sun near each other. If the fairy magic can move the earth and the sun, we know that image made the sun and earth look similar in size, but if we were to take it seriously and assume that sun is normal size, that would mean they can move thousands, hundreds of thousands of earths with their fairy magic. Feats like this prove they could definitely move thousands of earths. And while it is true they're not necessarily stronger than Jorgen, the super fairy, there's been times where Cosmo and Wanda would train to get stronger, and especially when Timmy's in danger, they overpower him. Here in this particular situation, for example, I'll just let them explain it for me, why overpowering this guy's impressive.
Every rule-free wish destabilizes the book further. If the book explodes, so does the universe. The unstable magic from the book must be contained by a blunt strangle. You are not strong enough to do it alone. Quick, grab my hands and we will attempt to absorb the magic. Together, you can do it, Cosmo! After all, you're a blunt strangle!
Something that was going to blow up the universe, Cosmo was able to help this guy stabilize that energy. Think about it like this. Cosmo was half the energy needed, contained unstable energy that was going to mess up the universe. He was one half that energy. Magic that was going to blow up and destroy the universe. You know this guy Crocker, he found a way to get ridiculously powerful because of this armory. I'll let him explain it.
Over there is the Fairy Armory, where we store every magical fairy weapon known to fairies. If I somehow stole that magical weaponry, would I be able to say, force the unconditional surrender of Fairy World and demand that you make me king of all fairies? Oh, absolutely. Especially if you were evil enough to destroy the big wand. If you took that out, we'd have to surrender. Despite Crocker being this powered up, Cosmo can still overpower him when he gets buffed because of this book. Straight up blitzes. Keep in mind, this guy's powered up by Wanda. And he's punching through this stuff. And his pecs can eat this via durability, showing the weight of his hits. I find it weird that they try to say that there's tiers in fairies when Cosmo and Wanda can literally just wish that the fairy world was ruled by pixies. Like, wouldn't that include Jorgen? So the apparent strongest fairy, they could just nullify his power apparently and grant another species full control over magic. Like, they have this kind of power to just do this? Like, what?
That crazy desire for us pixies to control all magic and take over fairy world is behind us.
Even though I would still give Jorgen the advantage, there's times where Cosmo and Wanda can kind of get the upper hand over Jorgen Von Strangle, knowing when his mind is controlled, he can do crazy stuff, like in this crossover event.
Behold my big bang buzz, with shockwaves so powerful they'll tear the very fabric of time. The Earth will revert to its original state, allowing me to remake it in my own image. Charge the detonator with unlimited power.
If you'll be destroyed too.
I'll be hiding under that magical desk.
Calamitous wants to blow up the universe. You've got to defuse this bomb.
My incredible powers are back under my control. I have made everything as it was before.
The universe is saved now.
Jorgen himself nullified something that was going to blow up the universe. Universe was saved. You know, it's constant universe threatening stuff they can nullify. When it comes to speed, let's be honest. Who needs speed when they can literally teleport, but they're not slow? Cosmo, for example, is able to move this quick to different planets in the solar system. Yep. Millions of miles away, by the way.
Something that'll take Vicky a million miles from here.
Yeah, he just traveled this far. Yep, that's speed. He was doing measuring. If we take what Timmy said, literally a million miles is technically a trillion miles. If he flew that, I did the timing myself. It was about 38 seconds or 40 seconds. That's over 100,000 times faster than the speed of light. Cosmo flew that far, no teleportation. But if I'm being honest, all this speed stuff is technically irrelevant because couldn't they just use their magic and freeze time itself completely and then move around while time is frozen? If you can move around while time is completely frozen, that would technically mean you can kind of do infinite speed via time manipulation. You know, if you're a time manipulator and you move while time is frozen, like everything in the universe is frozen but you, that's technically you moving with infinite speed. So via time manipulation with their magic, there's no real cap on their speed. But I hope you guys enjoy. Yeah, this is gaggy and magic. Yeah, bad combination. They can blow up the universe if they wanted to. Fairly Odd Parents. That's crazy. Do me a favor and hit that like button for me real quick. And thanks for the donations, everybody. I'm glad you are enjoying your time on the channel. Make sure you check out the playlist on the channel to see other How Strong videos. If you like what this channel is offering, make sure you hit that subscribe button and I will see you guys later.